Part 4, rhythm and stress. I don't mean stress, but I do because it's the same thing. Stress. What do you lean on? Within the word and within the sentence. So you lean on the most important piece of information in the sentence. I just said most important because I figured that was the most important part of that sentence. How are you? How are you? What's the difference? If they just asked me how I am, I might say, how are you? If I'm first, I might say, how are you? What do you think? What do you think? So what do you think is more, not me, but you? And what do you think is more, let's think about this together. The more important it is, the more you stress it. So I love that color on you. 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 Play around with it. It's fun. I really think we should go the other way. I really think we should go the other way. I really think we should go the other way. The da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Melody moment. I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. Again. So you notice how when I stress it, the pitch also rises a bit? Never. Da-da. Again. Duh. But not a lot. You know? I'm never doing that again. Way too much. Never. Good. That movie was brilliant. Da-da-da. The movie was brilliant. The movie was brilliant. The movie was brilliant. Things get truncated sometimes. We've talked about this with the omissions. Would you becomes would ya. Because I'm not emphasizing the you, I'm emphasizing the would. Would you? Would you do that? Would you do that? In that sentence, I'm emphasizing do, right? Would you do that? So the would you just is like not the most important part. It gets kind of shortened. Would you do that? Could you? Same thing. Could you? Could you go there? Could you? And if I'm going to say, could you, then it probably would be all its own. Could you do that? Could you do that? Want to. Wanna. We've talked about that before. But we didn't really talk about psychologically. It gets truncated because it's not the most important part of the sentence. If the most important part of the sentence is I want to go is go, then I wanna gets shortened. I want to go. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Or I don't want to. I don't want to. So these are things that if you're working on your business etiquette, maybe do less of these. But they're part of what gives it that Americanism. If it's a little bit too perfect, people will think you're foreign. Trust me, people have thought I'm foreign just because I pronounce things correctly. So, little word to the wise. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That one gets truncated because we just use it often. So we get lazy. I don't know. I don't know. Remember? Practice sentences. It's for you. If you're on the phone. It's for you. Fur. There's that fur again. It's for you. Probably wouldn't say that as much as it's for you. Or, no, it's for you. I'm going to go over there. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There's a little melodic pattern for you as well. I'm going to go over there. Want to come? Want to come? A little too proper? Want to come? I'm going to go over there. Want to come? Do you want to have some bread with that? The most important word being bread in that instance. Do you want to have some bread with that? Do you want fries with that? Do you want fries with that? That's different. Do you want them? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Good. Practice contemporary dialogue. Notice the mitigators. They're all over this one, even more than the first one. It might sound more female, but it's definitely both male and female who are using these words now. I also have, next, I have some practice period dialogue, or 19 kind of 20s, 30s through the 60s. If you're playing that kind of a character, very different way of speaking. So here we go. I'm going to read it slowly all the way through A and B first, and then I'll read A to speed leaving the B, and then I'll read B to speed leaving the A for you so that we can do this together. Okay? So what did you think of the movie? Or, so what'd you think of the movie? Loved it. Totally brilliant. The acting, the script, I mean, it was hilarious. I know, right? It reminded me of this one family reunion we had when I was like 6. Yeah? Yeah. My mom and my aunt got into this full-on fight about who was supposed to make the Jell-O salad. I'm like, seriously? Who even makes Jell-O salad anymore? Right? And they're supposed to be the adults. For sure. It's so the other way around. I'm going to do that again because there are some different ways you could do it. And I'll do it again and leave out some of the mitigators. So what'd you think of the movie? Loved it. Totally brilliant. The acting, the script, I mean, it was hilarious. It reminded me of this one family reunion we had when I was like 6. Yeah? Yeah. My mom and my aunt got into this full-on fight about who was supposed to make the Jell-O salad. I'm like, seriously? Who even makes Jell-O salad anymore? I know. And they're supposed to be the adults. For sure, it's so the other way around. And then I'll go and do the A's. So what'd you think of the movie? I know, right? It reminded me of this one family reunion we had when I was like 6. Yeah. My mom and my aunt got into this full-on fight about who was supposed to make the Jell-O salad. I'm like, seriously? Who even makes Jell-O salad anymore? And they're supposed to be the adults. Good. And now you can do A and I will do B. Loved it. Totally brilliant. The acting, the script, I mean, it was hilarious. Yeah? Right? For sure. It's so the other way around. Good. Now we'll do practice 1930s to 60s dialogue. You can use any dialogue you want. These are just pieces to help you, but I definitely recommend watching movies, repeating, pausing what other people do. You can watch my videos, but they're usually all different voices. So it can be helpful to only pick resources of the accent that you really want to cultivate. Because there are a lot of them out there. So this is the practice period dialogue, or 1930s to 60s, kind of maybe 20s. Not a transatlantic accent, even though it definitely would apply to this. But for the interest of this exercise, I'm going to do what I call a timeless accent, which just means that it doesn't have, it doesn't sound very now in the way that we lean on things now. So if you are an actor and you're serious about your craft, you need to be able to learn how to take out the things that make you sound contemporary. These melodic patterns, these ways of leaning on things, particularly that we do now, that just did not exist 10 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe 10, but not 20 or 30 or 50 years ago. So if you're going to do Shakespeare, you have to be able to sound like now. I mean, not like now. Like then. Okay? So with this, I'm going to just read the whole thing straight and fairly slow first, and then we'll go back and do A and then B. Good evening, Vivian. Hank, what are you doing here? It's Saturday night. I'm aware of that. What's a Saturday night without 2 G&Ts and a room full of steaming jazz? A Sunday morning. Can I buy you a drink? Can Chick Webb play the drums? Martini? Dry. That's very particular. Kind of this rapid repartee, as they used to call. And a really dry, straight sense of humor. There's humor there for that time period. So, back to A. Good evening, Vivian. It's Saturday night. What's a Saturday night without 2 G&Ts and a room full of steaming jazz? Can I buy you a drink? Martini? Good. And now you can be A, which is Hank, I suppose. Hank, what are you doing here? I'm aware of that. A Sunday morning. Can Chick Webb play the drums? Dry. Good. Very good. Yay, we've got one more section, and then you will be free to do it again many, many times. Well done. Take a little break, and I'll see you for part 5.